What up, guys, and welcome back to the Connect Realty podcast. We're on episode seven.
Yeah,
Lucky
That's
seven.
awesome. We're missing Javi today. He had to do some showing, so he stepped out. But yeah, let's jump into it. It was a busy week, but it felt like it went by so slow because I was doing a juice fast since Saturday, so 5 days no eating. It was a lot of fun. How's your challenges going?
they're going well. Still looking. I mean, I guess the hardest part of everything is finding the deal, right? And that's kind of what I've been trying to get to. Once you find the deal, I feel like the buyer is probably much easier because no one's gonna pass up on a good deal, you know.
Exactly.
So I'm out there trying to get my name out there, trying to find the buyers.
But
right now.
in your health goals, you're down 20 pounds.
Uh-huh.
So I saw you post that.
Yeah.
That's a big drop.
Mhm.
20 pounds in, what has it been? A month?
Yeah, like 45 days probably now.
Damn,
A month and 5 days?
Yeah.
So 20
A month
pounds
and
in
15.
So we're 30 days in, or 45 days in, and you lost 20 pounds. That's awesome. I lost 8 pounds from the juice cleanse. So I don't know how fast I'll gain that back, but I plan to like kind of stay on this weight because I feel better.
Mhm.
I think I could lose like another, I think I was telling you yesterday, I could lose like another 5 to possibly 10 pounds to be like at my like healthy walk around weight. What do you?
So do you want to lose more weight?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just kind of slow it down on how fast I'm losing weight, because maybe I feel like I'm getting a little thinner from the muscles, which is something that shouldn't happen because my goal is to do like a body recomp. So I think that's one thing where I'm kind of lacking on. Maybe just not eating enough protein, or maybe just not eating enough at all in general.
Okay, but are you like working out or
Yeah.
like lifting weights?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you probably not lifting enough weights maybe then?
Mm,
Or
not
not
too
eating
sure
enough
actually.
protein.
Maybe I need to like consult with someone, kind of see like not get a trainer, but kind of consult with like someone who's in that world of health, just to kind of see where it is I could be.
So
Doing
how are you
better.
losing the weight then? Is the cardio?
It has a lot to do with cardio, just being in the gym, and just the way I'm eating. I have a tendency to like binge eat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been binge eating at all. Just watching my
Right.
habits. I used to eat a lot of fast food.
But do you think it's because you're going to the gym a lot, so you feel good, and you're like telling like you don't want to eat bad because you don't want to ruin what you're doing? at the
You're
gym?
holding yourself accountable. You're
Yeah.
keeping these habits, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think, going into the fast, it's something I've done before for a lot longer than 5 days. And I could have done it for longer, but obviously I have plans this weekend, so I wanted to like start eating a little bit before. And I feel like I really can't eat. It's only my second day off of it. But I feel like I could have went for longer and accomplished more. I don't know if that makes sense, because I feel like I'm not accomplished with what I wanted to with it. But I mean, losing 8 pounds is amazing. I didn't do it for weight loss, but more for the challenge. I think that's why I always do it. And like you start to feel like clear minded, clear body, right? Everything like updates. It's like a refresh of your body, like a reboot, right? And it's a challenge to myself. Like I've always been big on like challenging myself just to keep your mind strong, right? Whether that's like writing down goals, writing down habits, is something that I think is very important, because you always want to keep challenging yourself, right? I wrote it in a post this morning on Instagram, but like keep yourself hungry, right? Because if you're not hungry, what are you going after? Nothing, right? And what we tend to do with every aspect in our life, I think, is we become complacent or become comfortable, and we forget about how hungry that we need to be, right? Like the last 5 days, I've been so damn hungry. All I think about is like eating food, and it's not like I'm like food's in front of me right now and I can't eat it, right? It's weird. So we overindulge is what we do, right? So I think getting back to like getting that hungry feeling in all aspects, in business and health and everything, is one of the reasons why I do these fasts, or I challenge myself to these different things. But I haven't done one in a while. I want to say it's been a couple years since I did it. But I'm gonna start implementing it into my routine. I think like once a month or once every 2 months, like just like clearing out the mind, body, and soul. And I think what it does is it gives you like a fresh mindset, right? A fresh mindset to pursue new goals, write them down, exactly. Set up everything, and then just be hungry for life, right? Like really appreciate, what we have going on. Like I love to eat. I can't say I'm a foodie because Michael's way more of a foodie than I am. Like he has a
but
spot.
You can eat more than me.
Oh, yeah.
You can eat.
But like I mean,
but
like,
I like different like taste buds.
Yeah,
going
I love
to different
that.
things. Like
that's what I mean. Like
stuff,
I love that.
Like
I love tasting good food and like going to places and like trying new restaurants, and like a lot of the good places I get to eat is from this guy because he knows a lot of the spots. But I think on that level, like I'm a foodie at that level, right? It's really I enjoy eating. Right? I enjoy tasting good food or going to a restaurant or going to a nice dinner. I like doing that. And when we have access to that, especially like in a job like ours where we could just go to lunch wherever we want, or like, different times of the day, go eat, is like we definitely have the ability to overindulge, right? Yeah. And I think that's what I've been doing for a long time and just not realizing it. But, that's life, right? Sometimes you have to like live a little bit, enjoy it. I think when you go through something like a fast, you understand like we don't need everything that we're putting into our bodies, right? We could literally survive off of less, right? And it's crazy what your body gets accustomed to versus like what you need, right?
Yes, I feel like people get too comfortable doing what they do in their everyday lives, like sometimes they get stuck. Like you want to do something, but you don't do the action. You know?
Exactly.
And that can be dangerous because you can fall in that for years or long periods of time.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is sometimes you gotta think outside the box and switch your life up a little.
Yeah, switch up your routine. Maybe you get accustomed to doing something every day, even your workouts, right? If you don't switch that up every once in a while, you're just gonna become
you get complacent,
a plateau, right?
Yeah, you get stuck.
You're gonna be stuck on that level, right? So challenge yourself. Go outside and run. Come out with us on.
Do a hike.
Come out with us on Wednesdays and run the stairs. You know what I mean? Or just challenge yourself. Do something that's different, and watch how not only your body but your mind reacts to that, right? Because when you're beginning to get to the next level, you can't be doing the same things, right? And that's what I mean, like, stay hungry. Like, we gotta stay hungry, continue to chase our goals. If we hit our goals, create new goals. And especially as a young agent, like, tracking those things and writing them down and then checking them off your list every day is something that's gonna mentally help you, right? Because maybe, the deals aren't like flowing in right now, but you're working your way to one, right? Making sure that you hit your non-negotiable thing every day is going to be a big step in helping you win in the long run, right? We talk about how adding up little wins can create a huge win at the end of the day, right? If you're doing something that you plan to do for yourself each day and you're doing it right now, right? Like, I'm not going to snack, right? And after 45 days of I'm not going to snack, you have lost 20 pounds, right? That's the little wins daily adding up to a big win.
And it's a lot of experience and other stuff you're gaining. It's kind of like a rookie quarterback. Like they might not get a touchdown their first year, but they're learning. They're in the process. They get down on themselves, and then the coach says, just keep pushing. And then you get that first touchdown, boom, he blows up, Exactly. Like, because he put in the work. He put in the work, but you've been there. You know what you needed to do. You didn't stop, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And also, by being in those uncomfortable situations in the beginning, right, you learn from it, right? And we talked about that yesterday. Every conversation you have is a learning experience. You're going in there nervous because you don't know what's gonna happen, what their questions are gonna ask you, what they're gonna want from you. If you can explain something, right? All of that is building experience, right? It's building vocabulary. It's building relationship, but also uh, the necessary dialogue that you need to have that conversation with the next person, right? And each time you have one of those conversations, you get you expand, your mind expands, you're growing, right? Mm-hmm. So feeling uncomfortable, staying hungry, and getting after our goals, I think that's like the topic of the week, or like what we've been going through here at Connect. And really, for me, it's been a eye opener again. I feel amazing. I'm ready to tackle it, and we have 6 months left, 5 months left in a year. I'm gonna get after it the rest of this year, and especially if they do rate cuts. Ooh,
the rates did go down today.
Rates been going down all week since last week.
On average, they've been kind of a little bit lower, no?
Yeah, they're at months low for from the past.
I think it's the lowest that it's been since February. Yeah. What does that mean? It means that there's more opportunity, and not only rates are down, but inventory is up, right? So we have a lot more houses for people to go out and see and choose from, right?
More movement.
So, I think, as like we talked about last week on the podcast, like there's a lot of people that are on the wait and see because the elections are coming up, because of what's in the near future. People are like, well, let's just wait. Let's figure this out. Let's wait, right? And then, you never want to wait too long, right? If you have the opportunity to buy, I saw this morning, right? 90% of millionaires are made through real estate, right? If you have the opportunity to buy a house and you could afford it, it fits within your affordability criteria, buy the house, right? You're never going to regret buying the house, right? I have 2 houses. I don't regret buying either one.
You're going to regret not buying it.
Yeah, because next year is going to be more expensive, and you're going to be kicking your butt.
People always say that, I should have bought, I should have done this.
Exactly. It's like, right? Like, if you look back over the last 20 years, like my dad bought his house 1999. I think it was like $200,000, right? That house that my dad owns, it's worth almost $800,000 now, right? I mean, if we fixed it up, we did a little bit of work on it, it would be like easy. A $900,000 house, right? So it's like if your goal is to be in a house for long term and you could afford affordability, we should be having a conversation about how to get you into that house, right? I think that's the biggest takeaway is like we're not here preaching something that we don't believe in. I totally believe in real estate. It's a way to not only gain wealth, but provide for your family, have a roof over your head,
generational wealth.
Exactly, invest in yourself.
Because the thing is, time. We don't have a lot of time,
Yeah.
Anything can happen tomorrow.
And and the other thing is that if you're waiting around, how long is that waiting? What is it costing you, right? If you're a renter and you're paying $3,000 a month in rent, you're literally throwing it away, paying someone else's mortgage, $36,000 a year. That's $3,000 a month, right? Like if you're trying to get a house anywhere around here, you're at least paying almost $4,000 for a house now.
Easy.
That's gonna be $48,000 a month, $48,000 a year that you're throwing away. Imagine throwing $50,000.
That's a down payment.
Imagine throwing $50,000 a year away, like just.
That's a down payment on a house.
You're paying someone else's mortgage off. $50,000 a year to rent. It's crazy.
And then when they want to sell, you're gonna get kicked out if they give you the opportunity to buy. But reach out to us.
I mean, and that's that's the biggest part of it, right? Like especially like the military presence that we have in San Diego. All of them get housing allowance. Most of them rent, right? Why they could buy a house with the housing allowance, and then when they get stationed somewhere else, we sell their house. They get to take that money with them over there, right? They're building wealth in it. We just had that happen. We sold Bloomfield that closed last week. My clients bought that for $699. They got orders to leave military, and we made them $75,000 in 2 years, right? So it's definitely possible. There's deals out there, and right now there's more inventory on the market to go see. You don't have to be so picky with your homes. There's more options to choose from. So I mean, honestly, like I said, the best time to buy is when you can, right? If you can afford the affordability, let's get you into the house and we'll have that conversation, right? Again, not preaching to anybody out there. I understand that buying a house is hard and it's expensive right now, but if you could be a homeowner, why be a renter, right? I think that's the biggest takeaway, and it goes back to what we talked about, right? Are you comfortable, like, because you're renting, right? And if you are renting, what are you doing with that extra money that you're supposed to be saving?
Well, I know the answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
What people are doing is buying brand new cars that are worth $50,000.
Well, every car is $50,000.
Your payment is looking like $1,000. Your insurance is looking like $500.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are doing with their money. Those are not good investments, Like, I mean, if your goal is not to get a house and you want a nice car, I guess that's okay. But if your goal is to get a house, that's not a way to get a house.
No, buy the house first and then the car, because it's gonna directly affect your debt to income ratio, and that's gonna stop you from getting a house. It's gonna stop you from being able to invest your money, right? I think yeah, that's a big thing that people do: buy cars, buy non-assets, right?
Non-appreciating assets.
Yeah, just they're not asset. The car is not an asset, right? It's depreciating every year. It's depreciating every time you drive it.
Exactly. It depreciates soon. Exactly.
I mean, I get it in San Diego. Like, it's hard not to have a car.
Oh, but that doesn't mean you go buy a new car and you can get an older car. It's fine. Get lower payment, something more affordable.
Yeah, literally, I held out on buying a new car until I owned the second house, and I still I wouldn't have bought that car. I mean, I got it because we needed one, and family and Cynthia and that, but I don't like buying cars. I would rather buy a house, any day than a car. And then what that does is it takes away directly from your debt to income ratio, right? So if you have $1,000 car payment, that would equivalent to I wouldn't say like $200,000 in purchase price or something, right? So think about that. If you stack that up, you have two cars, and right there's like $400,000 in house that you could have bought for $1,000.
Or at least a condo, something.
Right? Because we're getting people in condos for around $3,000, $3,700 for like a 2-bedroom.
$4,000.
Yeah. So right off the bat, if your goal is like, okay, I want to buy a condo, but I have $2,000 car payments and only make $5,000 a month, there's no way
you're pretty much kicked out of that category.
Exactly. So you're disqualifying yourself by buying the car or by buying the non-asset, right? What's up? Any other things happening this week?
No, I guess I have one question about that though. Would a lease technically affect your debt to income?
Lease affects
Same
it
thing.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still paying, especially
any
if you're
debt,
paying high.
a high credit card, a loan,
anything you owe.
Yeah, any debt. Any debt will affect your debt to income ratio. And we'll have to do a debt to income ratio.
I mean, leasing would probably be maybe smarter because you can just get rid of the car in a year or two, But still, you don't want to be put in those situations, Yeah.
I think if your goal is to buy a house, then you want to at least pay. You want to go into it with the least payments as possible. Once you get the house and obtain your goal, right? Then you could see how much extra income that you have after your house payment, after you paying your bills, you have a food supply, all of that.
Like priorities.
And then you're like, hey, I have an extra $1,000. Go buy the car, I guess. If your plan is not to go buy another house and another house and another house, right? But yeah, that's a big problem. Is especially right now with the rates, it's not fun for anybody. I mean, interest rates on cars are like 6-7% right now, right? They're probably the same as houses. So
this has a lot to do with like managing your short-term and long-term goals. A lot of people maybe are only like kind of blinded by the short-term goals.
Exactly.
They're not looking at the long scheme of things.
Exactly.
Well, what they're doing is, I mean, we go back to what we first talked about, right? It's people are comfortable, right? They get their $2,000 apartment and they're like, all right, cool. Like I have a extra $1,000 a month I can spend. Let me buy my car, and then they don't realize that they're actually kicking themselves in the butt and kicking themselves backwards, because now if they want to apply for, if they actually want to buy a house, then they're not going to be able to get approved for it.
Or sometimes they're just not educated on the situation financially, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're here for, right? Like we want to help everybody out there be able to purchase, a house and understand like how to set up that timeline, how to set up those goals, right? Like, yes, in the future, I want to have a really nice car, right? At some point in my life, maybe my midlife crisis or something, but I'm not there yet, because to me, what's more important is buying assets that I could not only have cash flow from, that are gaining me equity and paying themselves off, but that I could pass down to my daughters and and build generational wealth, like Michael said.
It's crazy because I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it almost seems like that's like the common sense way to go about it. But a lot of people don't see that at all. Like a lot of people are really blinded to that idea.
I think it goes back to the mentality of like, and not just a mentality, but the affordability thing, right? Mm-hmm. Because people are living right now paycheck to paycheck because it's so expensive to do anything. So they're like, okay, this is my budget and I can afford this. And then when they get in that situation, they become comfortable, right? And it's until you get a letter from your landlord saying your rent's going up, right? Or you get in a bad situation and you have to pull out credit, or you go and you put yourself in a bad situation with some instant gratification of buying a new Dodge Charger or something, I don't know, like a brand new car. Like that's just
a setback.
What people don't see as a setback, they see it as instant gratification, right? Like, oh heck yeah, I got a new car, and then they don't realize like what is affecting them, right? But that's based off of affordability, all affordability, right? But like to live right now is hard. The affordability is hard. Food prices are up. Every time we go to the grocery store, I spend $150 or something, right? And I have a family of 4. I know it's cheaper for you guys, but it's expensive out there, right? And then adding on top of it, like financing a car or taking out credit, all of that stuff is adding up. I mean, they came out, said like we have the highest debt right now ever, right? And that's,
did you hear that if you have $5,000, you're already like half richer than the whole population or all United States?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of people with savings right now, right? Everybody's putting everything on credit, and like we're riding it out. And I do think that there's better to come, right? That's not like a doom and gloom episode, right? We believe that there's gonna be an uptick in the market. There's gonna be a downturn in interest rates. It's gonna help everybody out. And who knows, maybe with the new president or whatever, the politics change it, there's going to be something better.
It's bound to get better.
Yeah. Because right now we're literally going through a struggle, right? They said we're going to go through a recession. And I would say we are in a recession, right? Like,
do you think there's ever a point where like the increase in home prices stays stagnant while the like income starts to catch up? At some point that's going to end up, like that's going to be what has to happen, isn't it?
I think that's where we're at right now. Like, if you look at the market, we're at a place where affordability has gotten to its peak, right, in houses. And that's why we're seeing the houses sit. And the people say, let's wait and see. Because it's like, the affordability is just not there. It's too expensive, right? And until they drop the rates and affordability becomes more favorable for buyers, that's when people are going to be like, okay, I could do this, right? But also, like you said, it comes based on the education, right? You have to know this, right? You have to get guided in this, right? That's why we offer free consultations, right? To sit down, go over a person's situation, because your situation is different than mine, and my situation is different than his. Like, if you have a game plan, you're not going to go off of my game plan.
And that's what a lender does. They break different options so you see it with your own eyes. Like, hey, is this...
Yeah, but even before you talk to a lender, right? Come talk to one of us. We say, hey, look, like, you're in a good situation to be able to buy a house. Now you talk to a lender, right? Or you know, like a game plan that we've talked about before. You getting into a house in the next 2 years, right? How do we make that work? We have to get XYZ done, right? Everybody's XYZ is variables, right? They're completely different. Some people need to work on their credit. Some people need to work on their debt. Some people need to get rid of those cars, right? They need to open themselves. Some people have to get better jobs. Some people are ready to go and they don't even know it, right? I would say doing consultations, about 75% of the time, people are like, oh, really? Like, I could afford this? Or I could buy a house right now? Like, and they didn't even, it's like that light didn't even click in their head before, you know?
Kind of like the deal with Javi.
Yeah.
You didn't really know what he could afford, and then...
Oh, the one that Javi has right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the guy reached out. He's like, I want to buy some land to build a house, and then now he's in escrow and buying his own house at $750, right? And that to build that house, and it would have took time, effort, and knowledge that maybe he didn't have, right? So until you actually talk to somebody, you meet with them, and talk to one of us, you know, someone with the education, the background, the knowledge, will could put you going in the right direction, right? We have a new listing this week.
Yes, sir. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,300 square feet in Spring Valley with the view of the Sweetwater Reservoir, and it's made out of steel.
Yeah, steel construction, which is very rare. We don't see it a lot. It actually has steel construction and metal framing. I like the house. It's nice. It needs a little bit of, you know, modernizing. But the house was built in 2000, which is also a great year. Has a beautiful view. Yep. And it's only had one owner. The owner is the one that actually built the house.
Yeah, it has views of the mountains, water, good breeze. Yeah, it's an amazing home. It's
several viewpoints too. Like everywhere you go throughout the house, like you're gonna catch a view walking down the stairs, going into your backyard up to that little
2,300 square feet. So it's on the larger side of homes. And what I like about it is because it's steel construction, you're able to really customize the home if you wanted to go in there and, you know, change it up. Also, what I like, 3-car garage, plenty of room for toys. A long driveway. You could have a mobile home on there, a boat, RVs, trailers, all that good stuff. No neighbors to
private.
Each side.
You have a corner lot. It's like a 360 views, like he said.
Yeah.
A lot of space.
Really nice landscaping, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like
nice landscape. Yeah, you don't even see that, like Edward Scissorhand bushes.
The cactus are nice.
Yeah.
It's listed
plums. There's plum tree in the back.
Yeah. Listed $945.
$945.
It's been on the market for 2 days. So
yeah,
if you have somebody interested in a house with the Sweetwater Reservoir view, Spring Valley, this sounds like something they like, reach out to us. We're happy to set up a showing with them. But yeah, this deal is not something that just fell into our laps. It's something that we've been working for 2 years. 2 years.
Like, it's been a process, you know. It was gonna happen, but it's just
timing, right? And that's what we mean when we say, like, hey, if you're thinking about something, reach out to us. And we're not gonna try to sell you tomorrow, right? We're gonna guide you through the process and get you to where you want to go. And on something like this, like, our client needed help, like, with painting the house, so we got him a painter. Our client needed help with carpets, we got him a carpet. He really needed hand holding, and not only that, more so like someone to talk to and vent to and talk about the process and understand it before he was ready, and figure out his life and where he's going and all of that stuff before he was ready to list, right? And that just shows the patience that we have with our clients and the time that we're willing to put in to help you obtain your goals.
Yeah, like, we're gonna care for you and really, you know, plan out what we need to do for you.
Yeah.
At the time, it has to make sense.
Go all the way,
too, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We're not just trying to come out here and sell. And I think by him waiting 2 years actually made him money.
Yeah.
True.
I was just about to ask that. How much do you think, if you would have listed it 2 years, like the first conversation, how much do you think you would have put it up for?
Well, it's funny that you guys say that, because when we did start the process, I had a net sheet, and I'd seen the difference. It's like $100,000 difference.
Yeah, I was
easy.
gonna say it was like 800.
It was like before. 850.
Yeah.
Now it's at 950.
Yeah.
That's probably like the best lot in that kind of area too, because it's like towards the corner, has like
You're
already
right.
houses in front of it.
Yeah. They're more like hidden or more down or more like.
Yeah, it's easily accessible, but still feels kind of like you're by yourself
Private,
on there.
yeah.
And because it's up on the hillside where like to get to the house, you can't just like jump the wall or something. You have to like walk.
No,
up
it's
this
like a
big-
fortress.
Yeah.
Castle.
It's definitely a really cool house. The
Yes.
floors are nice. Everything is cool in that house. We just had to find the right family. So if anybody out there listening has a family for this house, let us know. And we're gonna be promoting it and doing showings all weekend.
The 3 little piggies would have killed for a steel framing.
Right? Can't blow your
That'd
house
be
down.
crazy.
Also, the insulation, like that's huge, right? Having that big wall makes more insulation in your house, makes it more energy efficient, all that stuff.
Resistant to pests, fires.
Moisture.
Yeah.
No
termite reports.
or nothing.
No
No termite.
No termite reports. Don't need that. No, I actually might need a termite report
Yeah.
on that, but just because of some of the fascia wood. But it has a new roof,
Yeah,
newer roof, 2000. Yeah.
fresh
Tile.
paint.
Yeah, it's a great house. I'm excited for it. I think whoever gets that house is gonna be lucky, and then we find Isaac, something.
Yeah, and we also need to find him where to live too.
Yeah.
So
You want to stay in San Diego or?
I feel like he doesn't. He tells me he doesn't, but I have a feeling he does.
So yeah, I mean that's the other part of our job, right? We're not only selling your house, but we're helping you find out what the goals are, what the plans are, and where you're trying to go at the end of the day, right? Because your motivation means everything to us, right? Like we're literally here to help you achieve whatever goal it is that you have, right? And be able to like live your dreams in your dream home, or if it's moving out of state, whatever it is, we can help you with that. You have any follow-up questions before we end the podcast?
No, I wouldn't say so. Just out here grinding, trying to get that deal.
Grinding,
Yeah.
staying positive.
Yeah.
That's good, because remember that this industry could get you down, right? And you just have to keep going at it, right?
Yeah, definitely. First 2 months in the game, I didn't really feel like that, like the weight of what I'm doing. But now, like, I feel like it's starting to kind of dawn on me, and in no bad way at all. I still feel the same amount of motivation and discipline. It's just, it is very real what they say about it being like a cold game.
Yeah, well, I think any industry where you get told no a lot, it generally hurts your spirit, right? And I think that's why the realtors that have been in this industry for a long time, and the ones that do well, they have thick skin, right? You have to be able to take a no, and you have to be able to take a rejection, and not only once, but a million times, and then hear the one yes, right? But I think when you switch it up, is like, we're not here just trying to sell you a house, right? We're here, and this is just the way that we do at Connect, is we're here literally trying to help you obtain your goals, right? You saw how Michael did it, right? That guy told us no to selling his house, 2 years ago. We follow up with him. We create a relationship with him. And now, this guy is like best friends with him and talks to him for hours on the phone every night, So, like we really build relationships here, right? And I think that's what your takeaway is from this, is like, it's not going to be a quick overnight, one night stand type deal, right? Build the relationships out with your sphere of influence, with your people. Take care of your people, and your people will take care of you.
Yeah, you gotta hear them out, hear what they say. You gotta not always just be talking. You gotta hear too,
And part of that is just getting in the door, right? You're gonna tell you no, and say, hey, look, I understand you're gonna tell me no, but I'm here to help you when you're ready, right? Or I like what you do. Are you ready? Are you okay with me following up with you in 6 months, right? put that on your phone. Put that on your put a notification for yourself. Follow up with them, because a lot of people, they say they're gonna follow up and they never do. Right? Follow up is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think it was a great episode.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of good info.
Going into this next week, the fire is alive. I got no food in my belly. We're ready to go. Down some weight. Staying hungry.
If you guys are podcasters, or you guys kind of have like your own thing going, let us know if you guys have any tips on kind of how to schedule the episode, I guess you can say, or kind of how to plan a routine for the episode.
An agenda.
Yeah, an agenda.
Also, we want to have some guests on here. We were supposed to have a guest yesterday, but we weren't able to record. So we want to have some guests. If you're a small local business, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you on the podcast. And if you're looking to buy a home, no better place than here. We're here to connect and not only sell you a home or sell your home, but educate you on the process and get you to your goals, where you're supposed to be, inspire you to live your dreams every day. Please like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Leave us a comment. We'll respond. Thank you guys for watching. Till next week.
Stay connected and take action, and don't be complacent.
Yeah, and be humble.